do at home since we're all stuck at home. We decided to make something short and focus on stress relief again, because with all the changes, you may not realize it, but you're probably a little tense, or you're around a lot of people that are a little tense, and that can also make you tense. So Mathis, do you remember the 3 areas where your body stores tension?
Mm-hmm. Neck, shoulders, and hips.
So that's what we'll kind of focus on today. So why don't we start back in child's pose for just a minute. And we'll take 3 breaths like we normally do. 1 breath, breathing in to feel our body. 1 breath to feel our thoughts and notice them. And 1 breath to feel what we're feeling. Then let's slowly roll up, just coming to our feet and rolling up like a pearl necklace, rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time. Just to stretch and get our spine moving, and we'll bring our hands to heart center. Now from here we'll start with the first area where there's a lot of tension, which is the neck. So we'll plug our hands down into the ground, unlike up into the ear like we usually do, and we'll bend 1 ear closest to that shoulder. We'll take 1 big breath in. We'll roll our head forward, getting the other ear to the other shoulder. Taking a big breath in. Now we'll roll the shoulders to get into the shoulders a little bit more. Rolling back first. Just making any organic movement. You might be a little stiff from your homeschool. You're on the computer maybe a little bit more without intermittent recesses. Now roll forward. And now to get into the final area, the hips, let's do some hip circles. And then this might feel a little silly, but even these simple movements, they just help to loosen up your body, which is a way of what's called the bottoms up way of kind of releasing tension. So now I'm going to step in front of Mathis a little bit. We'll bring our hands to our heart center, and this time we'll plug our hands into the sky. We'll go ahead and do 1 neck circle with our hands in the sky. Then we'll do eagle because it incorporates the neck. If you do it in a certain motion, the shoulders and the hips. We'll take 1 arm over the other, and we'll take the opposite leg over and sit down. So we'll pretend we're like an eagle out for maybe one of our walks when we take a break from our homeschooling. And now we'll go ahead and humble our eagle down to our knees, and as we humble, we'll round our back and continue that flexion all the way into the neck to try to get the neck. Now you can do this with your eyes closed or open. I like closed because it helps me sense my balance. And we'll come up and we'll untwirl. And we'll jump out just to kind of loosen up because we don't want to be completely static. And then we'll step and push our arms out. And this time bring the opposite arm over and the opposite leg over. And now we'll sit down again, getting into the shoulders and hips a lot, and then we'll humble our eagle, creating a roundness that helps us get into the spine, and if we continue that, even into the neck. And then we'll slowly roll up, and we'll jump that out. Now since Mathis so graciously offered to assist me, Mathis, do you want to pick a pose for the neck, the shoulders, or the hips for our first video? Mathis actually mentioned an area that his brother Miles, who's filming for us, recommended, which is our back. And he's noticed that a lot of us are sitting like maybe punching just a little bit because we're sitting at our computer more. So a great pose would be cobra and upward dog. So let's come down to the ground. We'll come to our plank. We'll pretend we're walking on the pier at the cement ship. So we're walking on the pier, and now we're going to lower ourselves down to the ground, and now we're going to work our backs to counteract all that sitting we're doing. First, we're going to come to cobras. so our hands stay on the ground, but we're not putting any pressure, so we could even put our hands, pick them up. And now if you're more flexible, like I know Mathis is really flexible, we'll come all the way up to upward dog. And this really counteracts all that forward sitting that we're doing. Mathis, could you show them King Cobra? If you want to do even more, you continue up where your legs come and touch the back of your head. And I know we've done that quite a bit in class. But only do that if you feel like it. Your body might feel different. It might be more stiff, it might be less stiff. And when you're done with that, slowly roll back down and come to all fours. And just because that's a pretty extreme back pose, which is actually, like I said, really good for all the computer work we're doing, go ahead and do a couple cat-cows. And then we're going to come back. We're going to go up to our downward facing dog because, of course, if we have a dog, I'm sure we are taking advantage of walking it to get out and get some fresh air. And we're going to slowly roll up again, one vertebrae at a time, like one pearl on a pearl necklace. We're going to do one more pose for this first video that kind of gets into those hips, the shoulders, and even the neck. So I'm going to step in front of Mathis, and we're going to do warrior two. So we'll jump our feet out to the side. We'll put one foot and point it towards the wall, so our front hand will bend into warrior two. But instead of keeping our arms out like we usually do, we're going to incorporate the cow ears. So we'll raise our back arm up and try to reach for our bottom arm. And now to incorporate a little bit of the neck area, we're going to look towards that leg that we're bending towards. And we'll take 3 breaths in, breathing for 1, breathing for 2, and breathing for 3. Now we'll push up and we'll change sides for this last pose. Now we'll bend into that opposite hip because we want to try to balance our body and do both sides. We'll bring that arm up, the opposite arm of course. And now finally to incorporate the neck, we'll look to the opposite wall. That should stretch the side of the neck. Now we'll breathe for 1, we'll breathe for 2, we'll breathe for 3. Now we'll come back up and we'll come down into Malasana. And we'll come to a sitting position and you can transition through this into butterfly or cobbler because this is actually really good to get into the adductors, which bring our legs together. So separating them for a few minutes while we sit for a moment. So I grabbed my nutritional medicine book, and because the COVID pandemic, the reason we're all at home is an infectious disease, I looked up what vitamins and minerals are recommended to bolster the immune system for infections. And those are vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin D, selenium, zinc, and iron. So we try to focus on all of them, but I've been mainly focusing on vitamin C. And a fun thing you can do is, I looked up yesterday that mango, I've been making smoothies where I put a cup of mango and mix it with other things in a smoothie for the boys in the afternoon. Mango has approximately 165 milligrams of vitamin C, which is more than the recommended amount by the government. So you're getting a full serving of vitamin C. So maybe you can eat some mango today. Well, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed this first yoga video, and I hope you guys are all doing well, and we're sending lots of good thoughts your way. Namaste.